What's up guys, Earl here with Tech, and the TCL brand is known as a television brand, and a couple of years back, the company is exploring the smartphone industry. They have given us budget-friendly smartphones in the past, and now it's time to check out its entry-level phone, the TCL 20 SE. It has a 6.82-inch display, quad rear cameras, a 5000 mAh battery, and a Qualcomm Snapdragon 460 chipset. So does it have what it takes to be your new daily driver? Let's all find out. Right off the bat, the TCL 20 SE has a tall and thick form factor which makes it feel robust to hold. It shines with a reflective mirror finish that's topped with glass, making it prone to fingerprint smudges, so we highly recommend using the free jelly case included in the box. The fingerprint scanner is located at the back, together with a slightly protruding vertically aligned camera module. It is available in two colorways, Aurora Green and Nuit Black, which is the one we have. We like how it's got a two-tone accent that changes depending on the angle of the lighting. You can also use this as a handy mirror if you will. Located on the right side are the sleep-wake button alongside with its volume rockers. They are tactile and clicky, however people with smaller hands might need to adjust a little to reach it one-handed. Checking out the left side, here's a textured smart key / Google Assistant button that I keep mistaking as a volume button sometimes. Then you can also find here is its hybrid SIM card tray for 2 nano side SIM cards or 1 nano SIM plus a micro SD card. Up top, we get a secondary microphone and a 3.5mm audio jack, while at the bottom are the primary microphone, USB Type-C port, and the 2 loudspeakers. The overall styling of the TCL 20 SE honestly looks very stylish and feels premium thanks to its rear glass panel. Flipping to its display, the TCL 20 SE comes with a large 6.82-inch V-notch screen with a resolution of 1640 by 720 and has a pixel density of 263 ppi. Now, consuming media on this device is decent and we can expect vibrant colors as well as nice viewing angles. If this display needs more improvement for you, well, the TCL is utilizing its specialties when it comes to display quality, with its Next Vision app to enhance your media consuming experience further. It even has a video and game enhancement option to boost the color, contrast, and depth of details in videos or games to provide such HDR quality viewing. Also, using the phone under broad daylight is viewable enough, but it can be brighter. The bezels aren't the slimmest but pretty sizable with a slightly thicker chin. It also has an old notch design that can be covered with a black bar in the settings if you're not a fan of it. Nonetheless, the display is very good enough for casual binge watching content on YouTube and Netflix. Audio-wise, the TCL 20 SE has a stereo speaker setup, but it wasn't the best in its class. It can easily fill up the room at maximum volume, but the sound quality can be too tinny and lack some bass. We still highly recommend taking advantage of the 3.5mm audio jack for more optimal sound experience. For cameras, we have quad rear camera setup consisting of a 16-megapixel primary camera, 5-megapixel super ultra-wide angle, 2-megapixel macro, and 2-megapixel depth sensor. Meanwhile, for selfies, it has an 8-megapixel front-facing camera. The image quality coming from this device is decent, which is expected considering its price range. However, image quality can be too contrasty and colors can look washed out and saturated in certain situations. But overall, image quality coming out from this device is pretty usable for quick social media postings. You can also opt to choose between 2x and 4x zoom. Well, just like its main camera, don't expect too much. The AI color mode highlights subjects by transforming the environment's color to black and white, but this feature can be a hit or a miss to use. In addition, if you want to take some night shots using this device, unfortunately, this doesn't have a dedicated night mode, although the AI feature can help boost the image taken in dark scenarios. Now for selfies, images are decent, skin tones can be a little bit too dark, and sometimes photos come out a little bit noisy even though taken under good lighting conditions. Now for videos, the TCL 20 SE can shoot up to 1080p at 30 frames per second. It doesn't have any optical image stabilization or digital stabilization, so expect to have shaky videos when not placed on a tripod or a gimbal. For software, it runs on TCL UI based on Android 11. The overall software looks clean and has a lot of resemblance to stock Android with a few TCL bloatware. We're glad to report that the UI is pretty straightforward and fairly customizable according to your preference. App drawer option is present, and you can also use either navigation buttons or gestures. When it comes to performance, the TCL 20 SE comes equipped with a Qualcomm Snapdragon 460 coupled with an Adreno 610 GPU, 4GB of RAM, and up to 64GB of internal storage. Doing basic tasks such as casually browsing the web or your social media apps, navigation, and streaming videos on YouTube or Netflix can be decent with some stutters when too many apps are running in the background. Graphically intensive games are mostly playable in low to medium settings, but they can get very laggy in most cases, so we highly suggest to use the lowest graphics settings for a smooth gameplay experience, or use TCL's proprietary GameBox app. We run it through our usual benchmarking apps, and here's what we got. Now for battery, it comes with a massive 5000 mAh battery with support for 18W fast charging. In our use, the TCL 20 SE can last up to a whole day of mixed use if you are not into playing a lot of heavy games. In the PCMark's battery test, this device lasted for 21 hours and 42 minutes, while in our standard video loop test, which entails playing a 1080p video on loop with airplane mode turned on, with 50% brightness and volume, with headphones plugged in, we got a good 15 hours and 10 minutes. Charging, on the other hand, takes more than 2 hours and 30 minutes, which isn't surprising considering its huge battery capacity. The TCL 20 SE is priced at 8,190 pesos, and even though its camera isn't its strongest suit, as well as its performance, you will still have a huge battery that can last up to 1 to 2 days with fast charging support, a huge display,